To my fellow Lovecraft fans, there is a video by a man called the Distributist who actually discusses where we are in the current, societal angst or whatever. And he talks about Lovecraft. So I am going to talk directly to the Distributist. Dave, you know that I was sub to you for a while, quite a few years ago, and you're one of the few right-wing guys who can offer insight on things. I mean, you point out how you got into Lovecraft as a young man, and you'll notice that Lovecraft does appeal to men, because I want you to consider if there was take the case of the young man and went to First World War with his fairy tale ideas of what war is, and would probably be the very first modern war ever. And that poor young fella he's scared to death and he's crying for mom. And mom is not coming. Mom is safe and sound back home, and he is on his own. And then this young fella, he survives the First World War. He makes it back home, but he's suffering shell-shocked. And then when he's going home, some grown woman who might remind him of his mother gives him a white feather and says, "Get right back to that hell where you just got out of." That young man, if he ever read Lovecraft, would say, "Yes, cosmic horror, I get it. This speaks to me." You see, it doesn't speak to women in the same way that it does to guys, because if a woman finds herself ostracized, it's because she's done something wrong. She can say to herself, if I just didn't do that, I would have been all right. I'd still be here. I'm still wanted. But that young man from the First World War, he understands for the first time that he was never wanted. It's a cosmic horror. His society never wanted him. It tolerated him as long as he performed. He thought he was sitting at square one, but he wasn't. He was treading water the whole time. He was treading water to stay at square one in his society. And his society really just wanted to dump him at any time and was looking for any excuse. That white feather is telling this young man, sorry, your business is to kill two of them and then die yourself. Come back home in a body bag. That's what that white feather means. So that young man understands Lovecraft. Now, I'm not crazy over you necessarily talking about Lovecraft, because I think Lovecraft is being used. I mean, Dave, you're a Catholic and you're a tradcon. And Lovecraft, I'm sorry, he was an atheist, and he dumped his wife. He split from her rather than throw his life away revolving around her. And I'm afraid you and your subs, that's what you're about. Finding some woman to revolve around. Now, you remind me of something that Lovecraft said. That once we get to know enough about the universe, that men will either go insane or flee into the safety of a new dark age. Now, I'm just going to point out, I remember you were talking to Shit Chimp. Now, the audience may not know what I'm talking about. You and I know who I'm talking about when I say Shit Chimp. the two of you were talking, and he's part of MGTOW, and you guys had a fairly polite debate, and he represents the going insane part. Shit Chimp made a video where he discussed maybe taking away pensions from the elderly, just so he can save a few dollars on taxes, so he can hoard them to get the woman that he says he doesn't want. That's insanity. Maybe he get smart and take that video down so he can call me a liar. Now you, Dave, you represent the other side. You're the one who wants the new dark age. You want to go back. And you can't go back, sir. I'm sorry. None of you, not you or your subs, want to stop drinking coffee or whatever your favorite beverage is in front of your computers. You love it here, just like me. I accept my limitations, as a low status man. You and your subs do not want to do that, and it's not doing you any good. How many you try and get people into maybe becoming Catholics again? I used to be a Catholic, and the Catholic Church, by the way, it changed. So it's made up of men and women. There is no God telling them what to do. How do I know? Because when the women got in this technological world, they didn't want to obey their husbands or even be wives, half of them. And the Catholic Church said, okay, because it's made up of men and women, and men give women what women want. I have to hammer that home. So how is converting more of these men who are incapable of doing anything into Catholics going to help the situation? It's not, sir. And I really get offended at this idea of using children as a shield. You guys talking about legacy and children. You and I both know a lot of your subs are alt-righters. And alt-right men will sleep with non-white women if they can't get white women. They don't care about racial purity. That is a lie. They do not care about culture. These guys, they will go to a foreign culture to find a woman, and some of them will stay there if they think bringing her back will make her divorce him. They don't care about culture. They don't care about children. They do not care about racial purity. They care about having the woman around. And I'll tell you why. This is just my hypothesis. It's not even a theory. But from what I can see, men want women to kill the loneliness of being a man and kill the fear of disposability. A single man can be shipped off to war. A married man might say, no, you can't do that to me. I'm attached to this ultra person. I'm attached to a woman, and you can't discard me without discarding her. And I know you're not going to discard her, so you can't discard me. That's what this is about, Dave. Okay? Your subs are just the same as Shit Chimp's subs. As soon as they get a girl, all of a sudden they're not commenting on your channel anymore. They might not even be subbed to your channel anymore. Because getting the girl is all they are about. I have to tell you that. So please stop talking about Lovecraft when he wouldn't be like that at all. He wasn't like that. And this is something else. Something that's been on my mind for a very long time. Someone I know, male sentient void, he tried having conversation with you and you treated him like dirt. You tried to say he was a nihilist. Male sentient void, Dave. He protests circumcision from little boys who he's never met and he never will. All on his own, because it's the right thing to do. And not you or any of your subs do that. Why? Because you do not care about children. He is the altruistic one. You guys are self-interested. You're considering only what you do. That's why when one of you finally gets that golden girl, he'll disappear and forget about all the rest of you. You know, I wish that right-wing thought had something to offer, but it doesn't. At least nothing positive. Nothing worthwhile. I'm beginning to think maybe right-wingers should just be classified as something other than... No, I won't do that. I won't be insulting. But what can I say? You're just self-interested people, you know. All right, I'm just going to leave it at there. No point going any further. Goodbye, David.